Hello, ladies and gentlemen of the StarCraft Nation. Zoya here from the StarCraft Squad, bringing you another professional mashup. Spawning in the bottom left is mouzMorroW. He is one of the most renowned Mouse players out there. He's so great. He's a strong player too. So I've also casted several of his games. So if you haven't watched him play before, definitely go through my videos. He's an amazing player. In the top right, just did another game with this Todd guy who played brilliantly. Don't know who he is, so if you guys know who he is, post in the comments down below. Send me a link to a couple of his videos, because I'm definitely interested in his play. He played really well against Goody in another game that you'll see on my channel. And so tell me who he is. Tell me his background. So if you know anything about this guy, what clan he, if he's Korean, tell me everything about him. I'd like to look know more, because he seems really good. Now, both players doing fairly standard stuff. We're getting a gas before anything for mouzMorroW, which is awesome. Spawning pool going down for mouzMorroW, so we're seeing a extractor before pool before hatchery here, which is awesome. Builds like that are always fun. Now we do have Todd piloting his expansion, delaying this expansion as much as possible. Fairly standard from most protosses. The longer you can do to halt their early expand, the better. We are scouting. We are going to be able to tell that this was a gas before spawning pool, just based by the time of the spawning pool. Todd being a little annoying, attacking this, making mouzMorrow's radar go off. Todd's getting ready to expansion up his wall, or walling off his base. Always want to fit that little zealot in there. Funny thing was, when I started playing random about a couple weeks ago when I got my new account, Protoss was always my worst race. And it took me which is embarrassing, it took me 5 games to learn how to properly build my wall up against Protoss, or against Zerg. I would always mess it up in some way until I finally was like, oh, this is how you're supposed to do it. Right. I kept trying to work the pylon into the wall off, and it just obviously wasn't working out too well. So, a little bit of funny tidbit there if you ever watch my games when I commentate them. My random account is now Master League, by the way, which is pretty fun. I still focus on my Terran account. I'm 2,800 Masters League now on my Terran account. I'm only 1,500 Master League on my random account, but I do play random. I'm not going to be near as strong there. I've definitely gotten a lot better at Protoss, so I'll hopefully be posting more of my Protoss match soon. Been watching a lot of In Control stream. So we're getting a 3-gate expand from Todd. That's fairly standard opening for a Protoss, especially when you delay that hatchery so long. 3-gate expand is pretty safe against any build Zerg can do. An early roach rush, if scouted, it can be difficult, because what Todd's doing is he's getting lots of sentries. The sentries are extremely strong for this 3-gate expand. I do it every time against Zerg. You get as many sentries as possible, and when you get about 4 or 5 of them, you move out to take your expand. You get a forge for a cannon for the roaches that burrow and to help stop the zerglings, and then you just use your sentries to force field off your base in case a huge amount of zerglings come. It's an extremely strong build. Now we're going to see these 2 warp gates, all 3 warp gates being warped in, and then we're going to be seeing a lot more sentries being built. Expansion's just now finishing, already getting queens at both of them. We are getting that Roach Warren. We did get the Zergling speed, so we have our speed on our Zerglings right now. And this guy's going to come over here and scout. See what we're doing here? We're moving out with all these sentries, piloning right here. Going to get our expansion down. Should be seeing a forge eventually, and then you get the cannon down, because A, burrowed roaches can cause you to lose any game. And then B, it also, a bunch of Zerglings come in, they see the cannon that's properly behind, your units and then your pylons and stuff, they want to attack. So this is a fairly standard, see there's the forge, fairly standard opening for Protoss. If you're a Protoss player and you don't do this build, I recommend practicing it, because you get about 8 sentries, and then if you don't lose any of them, you have 8 sentries at the end of the game. And this is just the perfect opening for this. This is an extremely standard build amongst higher up Protoss players against Zerg. So mouzMorroW realizes he's behind on the economy because of how late that hatchery was delayed, so he's going to be taking the gold fairly quickly. Income tab, 36 harvesters for mouzMorroW, 29 for Todd. Now, always want to get that early +1. As soon as this forge expands, I always get the +1 as well. You want to put a cannon down as well soon. Probably going to see it very quickly. Should be seeing a robo soon and stuff like that. Getting that extra gateway. Next is almost finishing. Should be seeing the transfer of probes very soon. Bunch of zerglings moving out here. Getting cut off by this huge force of stalkers, sentries. Once you get this many sentries, you just pretty much stop building sentries and you just only build stalkers for the most part. There's that cannon I was talking about. Like I said, the burrow roaches, the lings. I would like to see it. You know, you wall off just a little bit better there. Good force fields there from Todd, catching up many of these zerglings off guard, doing a lot of damage. Now, Robo Bay going down. Should be seeing a gas being taken here fairly soon. There we go. Gas is being taken. Goal expansions are being taken. +1 missile weapons and Glau reconstitution being built for mouzMorroW. Overseer coming in here. Hopefully we can see some more Contaminate play. Contaminate is always fun if you watch the Day 9 Daily where it was all about Contaminate. You can do some pretty amazing stuff with Contaminate. +1 armor being researched. We're getting the Robo Bay. This is a extremely standard build, guys, against Protoss or against Zerg. If you're a Protoss player and you don't do this build, you should probably try it out. It's extremely strong. It's really good. And you can, you know, transition any sort of way. Good stop there from Todd, putting that sentry there, or stalker there to stop him from getting in. If he would have scouted the Robo Bay, it would not have been good for Todd. Or for mouzMorroW. Or for Todd, yeah. Hydra Den being built. Expansion is up and running. We have the transfer of drones. Lots of roaches here, lots of lings. Doing a pretty good job at creep expand. Creep expand is so important here. It gives you vision, gives you speed, especially when you're going Roach Hydra. Good pylons here. It's going to stop any Baneling busts through here to go for the pylons or probes. Do a lot of damage. Getting some Immortals. Immortals are good against roaches, and then the Hydras are just going to get devoured by these Colossus. Getting Thermal Glance for the range on those Colossus. +1 armor's almost done. Now, at this point is when I would normally be getting my Twilight Council. As you can see, Todd is pretty mineraled and gas starved. You're going to get that Twilight Council so you can start on +2/+2 as quick as possible. But he's doing a good job on the upgrade war to where he's got a good advantage. Now, like I said, with this Overseer, you want to throw down a Contaminate, put it down on the Nexus, put it down on anything, but mouzMorroW losing that Overseer. mouzMorroW is fairly, you know, new to Zerg. I believe he race switched recently, so he's not going to be the best Zerg, but we'll love to see it Contaminate in the future. Colossus are being built. We have almost two on the field. Another gateway just not finishing. We're building lots of Hydras. We get the Groove Spines for the range, and we're getting Tunneling Claws for the Roaches. That's the burrow. And going to do a lot of damage. Unfortunately, we have an Observer, we have the cannon, so there's only so much we can do with those. But you will be able to burrow and get away, be able to heal up. Food count's 157 versus 120. Good job stopping the creep expand from Todd. You want to stop creep expand as much as possible. Huge amount of roaches, cutting them off. Good force fields here, doing a lot of damage here. But the burrow just move out underneath it. 138 versus 134. He did enough damage in there. Spine crawlers should be getting ready to engage here. You always want to keep your Hydras behind your roaches because those Colossus are going to destroy them. Make sure you're doing a good job microing your Colossus a little bit better. Roaches, 19 of them being built for mouzMorroW. He knows how many Colossus are here. He's going to need the roaches to be able to soak up as much damage as possible, be a good tank. Trying to get a good surround here. We got a Spire from mouzMorroW. We have a Gateway from Todd. Focus firing these spine crawlers on with these Colossus. Careful of your Queen, mouzMorroW! Picking off that Colossus. Good job from mouzMorroW. And we got a good surround here. Would have liked to see better force field use here. I mean, those force fields didn't do anything, but Todd is just devouring this army. He's got so many Stalkers, so many Colossus. He definitely came out on top of that fight. 120 food for Todd, 147 for mouzMorroW. We do have a lot more roaches here, a lot more Hydras. Todd constantly reinforcing here. Good burrows here, but doesn't look like we have the observer anymore. Looks like we picked it off. mouzMorroW keeping his cool, not doing anything stupid. Trying to get another round. Watch it, mouzMorroW, your units! mouzMorroW! Need to be working on our creep expand a little bit more, start spending more out that way. And right now, it's just whose army is going to be able to bust each other, the other hardest. Neither player is expanding again. Everyone's spending all their minerals on doing damage. Todd getting surrounded on. Trying to focus on his Colossus, but Todd moving forward with his Colossus. Both of them just tanking a lot of damage, but they're not being killed. And this is not looking good for mouzMorroW. Todd showing again how brilliant of a player he is. 130 food for Todd. 100 for mouzMorroW, and losing his gold expansion, this is not going to look good for him. We do have croppers on the field now, but only 4 of them. And right now, we go to the income tab. 53 harvesters for mouzMorroW, 51 for Todd. And right now, Todd has a good lead. 137 food versus 109 for mouzMorroW. If you're Zerg and you're behind on food, and you're not on 5 bases where you can instantly replenish 200 food, you are in trouble. Now, Todd getting in position to take his gold. Zerg missile attack level 2 on the way. We are expanding right here, not retaking the gold. I'd like to see a double expand. mouzMorroW is behind. He needs to catch up, so we need to see that double expand right now. That's the only way he'll catch up. 130 food versus 159. Don't have very many corruptors here. Don't have many roaches. I mean, this army is going to be able to walk right through mouzMorroW. Still expanding creep, though. We're doing an amazing job of that. But right now, Todd knows he has a lead, and he's taking that lead even further by just defending the gold and getting as good as production as possible. Now we are going to see a roach or ling push to the back, but we have the pylons here from before. And Todd's going to be able to stop that completely. Sending some stalkers over. But if the lings get us around, there's not going to be enough stalkers. But we are just seeing mouzMorroW run away. We did pick off a pylon though, which is good. Almost supply block Todd. Expansion's finishing. Probes are long distance mining here. Get the cannon going down just in case another push comes like that. Like when you have the gold and you have this much minerals to spend, might as well just put a cannon down. That's the best part about cannons. When you have multiple bases, they're cheap and they are good defenses against lings. 185 food for Todd, 185 from, or 166 from mouzMorroW. He's got a lot of corruptors here, but we are swapping to immortals from Todd, doing a good transition like we've seen him do before in my other game I casted of him. And right now, we have a lot of corruptors here. Not too many Colossus, only have 3. But we have a huge ground force. I mean, we need a lot more ground armor. We need a lot more Hydras. Hydras eat infantry units for breakfast, but there's only so much mouzMorroW can do. And then he GG's and leaves. So, Todd, showing again that I wish I knew who he was. So if you guys, enlighten me, tell me who he is, because I've casted 2 games of him now, and he's really good. So yeah, beating mouzMorroW, one of the best players in the world, So make sure you guys subscribe. And yeah, I'm Zoe. See you guys in the next video.